What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 78 of the Taste Cast, our weekly podcast where we talk about things, react to a bunch of random shit, and do a bunch of random shit. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And coming in hot, quick reminder, play Friday the 13th and Laser League, both offer for free on PlayStation Plus. Download those, play those, come back at the end of this month if you're not too busy playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and let us know what you thought of those games, and we will let you know what we thought of them. And our game of the month randomly picked is Secret World Legends. We got 2 people out of 3 who are not actively, but somebody dabbled, somebody played a little bit. You should play it too. Come back at the end of the month and play it as well. I haven't touched it, but I will, I promise. And we have a Discord link down below. Make sure to click that. Come talk to us anytime, all the time. And we are on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast platforms. Links down below if you prefer to listen to us. And if you're listening to us and you want to watch us, come to YouTube at Tasty Loot Gaming, and you can come check us out. So with every Taste Cast, we always start off with what we've been playing, and we're going to do that today. Just like every other day. So with that, Chris, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing a lot of the Secret World lately, so it's been trying to get my time in. I'm not going to talk too much about it. There's a Halloween event going on right now, so that's fun. Daily login rewards.
Perfect time. Horror-themed MMO during October.
Right. The first daily login reward I got was instead of like a mount, they do like a sprint system, and I got a horse cosmetic.
What?
What?
Yeah. Instead you sprint, you press a button, you can sprint instead of like mounting.
Yeah. Okay.
So they give cosmetics for it. So like instead of running, my character hops on a horse.
Oh, it's interesting.
But it's like it's called a pale horse, so it's a white horse with a bunch of like it looks like a zombie horse. It's got a bunch of bite marks and stuff like that.
What'd you have to do to get it?
Log in.
Okay. I guess I should do that.
They have a daily login system, so you get a bunch of rewards for doing that during the Halloween event.
Yeah, I figured you'd have to do something more than that, but I mean that works for me. That's the easiest kind of event.
That's what I thought too, but it's just a cosmetic.
Yeah, when you said that and you said cosmetic, I assumed costume or polymorphing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't know at all. I started sprinting, then a horse, and I was like, "You're running with a horse?
Running in a costume that looks like a horse?
Right next to it.
You're turning into a horse?
Nope, I just jump on it.
And you were saying, obviously, we got to talk about it. Like, we got to devote a whole episode to talking about that game. But you said you were playing a tank?
Yep.
And I'm
Or
playing
what's classified as a tank class, apparently.
Yeah, and I'm playing a DPS character, which makes a lot of sense. Chevy's also, I believe, playing DPS. So, how are you guys liking those classes so far?
I don't have enough moves to really comment on that yet.
Yeah. You like the katana?
No, not yet.
Fuck that game. We're canceling game of the month.
I'm going to get a couple more moves, and if it doesn't start clicking, I'll probably reroll. So
That's fair. Chris?
It's okay. I don't want to go too deep to
It's
it.
okay.
I mean, the character is a combination of ranged weapons and magic.
Briefly, without talking about too much, because we need to talk about that. Have you noticed any big difference between the last version of this and the new version? And if so, do you like it or see potential in it, or you like this doesn't matter?
I don't see any difference so far. It feels like I'm just back in the same world that I used to play in. Potential, it seems good so far.
Does this seem? I don't remember the game having that style of combat.
It didn't.
Okay.
Before
really?
it was oh yeah, absolutely, it was traditional. Before 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Which
100%.
I don't like the new system that well, but I don't like it in other MMOs that have done it other than Vindictus.
Well, Vindictus is an actual action game though.
Yeah.
Like you're actually clicking and actually swinging and hitting the dude and reacting to it. It's not just pretending that now when you click, you're just actually hitting one of your fucking moves.
Yeah, it's like
it's pretending it's an action.
Yeah,
game.
exactly. Like Terra and
100%. Yeah.
Whatever the other one is.
There's
Anyways,
a couple of them.
Not a huge fan of that system. I also thought I remembered like you did get to pick a starting template before, and then you just picked moves out of skill trees and kind of formed your own class.
There's less structure.
I don't feel like that's the case now. I haven't played enough, so I don't know.
I do believe that if they did do that, it probably is just for streamlining's sake. I think it's easier to guide people. The thing about the original Secret World, and they probably have fixed this, I guarantee it, I actually preferred it, is like some of the puzzles, you actually had to fucking think or look up a wiki. Yeah. And that was something that's really interesting, because a lot of games nowadays hold your hand, and that's fine too. Not everybody wants to do a bunch of crazy shit, but it wouldn't surprise me if they made some of that easier, or made the combat more straightforward, or had more guided classes, because a lot of people just want to get in and go, and they don't want to think about or they're way too into it, and they're like trying to figure out everything, and they're looking up everything, and it takes so much time, it just becomes overwhelming.
Don't believe.
Huh?
I said, don't play Eve.
Or don't play fucking Black Desert. That's why everyone quits Black Desert. It's too technical.
Yeah. And I don't want to go, obviously, too far into this, but I also...
There's a Wendigo in it.
We'll see, obviously, as the game goes, but I do know in the tutorial part of the game, they do explain that because they put you through like a mock dungeon, and it kind of explains traps in dungeons, finding clues to solve how to open doors and stuff like that. So they do kind of give you a tutorial that this is stuff you should expect later. So
explain traps. You step on it, it hurts you. Shouldn't have done that. Don't do it again.
And how to figure out how to get past them and stuff like that. So
don't walk on them.
One of them was a bunch of tiles, but you had to only be on tiles that looked a certain way, type of thing. Very like Indiana Jonesy.
Jonesy.
Yeah, that's as far as I'm going to talk about that game myself. So, sorry, I didn't mean to take from that. I also played it though. So,
yeah, I just don't want to get back to you and ask you that question separately. Remember that question I asked Chris a while ago? Well, let's throw it to you. Yeah. Anything else you want to say on that game?
No, I think I should save it for everything else for later.
Fair. What else have you been playing?
I've been playing Overwatch because they too, surprise, surprise, have their Halloween event back up again.
Mm-hmm. Are they doing anything different?
There's more heroes to choose from this time. Instead of 4 characters, I believe there's like 6 or 10. I can't. It's anywhere between 6 and 10.
Interesting. I actually did play the Halloween event last year, I think.
That's the last time we played, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was the last time I played the game.
Because I'm pretty sure that was our game of the month.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did the event, and I left.
Well, it's the same event. It's the Junkenstein event, the PvE mode. Just more character selection. So it's a lot of fun. New skins. Some of them are really, really good. Really good, actually. The 76 got what's called the slasher skin. So he's got like the hockey mask, but his gun is a chainsaw. So it's like a combination of different slasher monsters. But it looks really good, though. It sounds weird, but it looks really good.
It sounds weird as shit, so I'm glad that you're emphasizing that it looks good, because you're telling me that I'm like, okay. Like,
everybody I talk to who's seen it says it looks amazing, and it is. It's been so well done. Sombra has a Bride of Frankenstein skin, which is, I think, my favorite one, though. It's really nice.
This is an ignorant question, not based off of anything that I've heard or know, but how's the population of that game right now?
I don't know off the top of my head, like the actual numbers.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be like, I never run into the same people in like competitive mode unless it's like a slow night, and even then it's very scarce. But I don't think there's a problem with it too much. I mean, I'm sure it's not as popular as it used to be.
Sure,
but,
like any game.
Right.
So it's still healthy, though.
Yeah, that's why I was curious. Just because, like I said, it's not based off anything. I'm not coming at this like going like, I heard it fucking sucks, or I heard it's doing great. It's just like on Twitter every once in a while, I'll see someone jab at it, and I'm just like, is something up with it? Like, or are they not updating it? Because the last thing I heard about was the fucking gerbil boy who was dope as shit, or the hamster.
Hammond or Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that little chubby dude is. He's dope as shit.
He's fun. He's fun.
But like, I don't know anybody personally who's playing it a lot right now, or like really talking about it a whole lot, or like anything like that. So I was just curious if like the community's just kind of solidified and locked in, and they're playing it, and the hype isn't there anymore. No one's talking about it anymore because they just play it. It's been out long enough. Or if like the community has went under, or like if there's anything about it, I don't know, because I don't play it. So
I think a lot of people initially flock to it because it's a Blizzard FPS, but it's more of like an arcade shooter. So probably the hardcore FPS players probably migrated away from it.
Yeah, I can see that.
But the community overall seems healthier than I've ever seen it. In particular, because Blizzard is really cracking down on things like aimbotting or any kind of cheating. First offense is gone, like you're banned.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard thing to defend yourself on. There's got to be like a maybe 0.001 percentile of people who somebody installed that on their computer and they didn't know about it. But for the most part, if they catch you doing that, you can't just be like, "Wow, I was on accident. Wow, I didn't mean to do that."
Oops, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
But accidentally installed toxicity, the toxic attitudes that you used to see, like, and I don't want to overgeneralize, but in my personal experience in FPSs, because I'm a shit person at FPSs.
Oh, I was like, you're not a shit person. Where's that coming from?
I'm shit at shooter games.
Okay.
So I get a lot of flack from people because I don't tend to carry my weight a lot. Yeah. And I acknowledge that. But you don't get that a lot in Overwatch because they really try to bolster a community that's like supportive of each other. So like if someone says a lot of offensive things, you can report them. And it seems like, oh, that's no big deal of reporting whatsoever. But like if you report someone and they say get banned, Blizzard will notify you like, hey, thank you for letting us know that this person was toxic. We have taken action to remove them from the community for the time being. It's like, weird.
It's like
I know.
The opposite of my experience in Call of Duty recently. I got into a pretty fun, for me, not for him, heated discussion at 3:30 in the morning in Call of Duty because the guy said something so stupid I had to comment on it, and he really got pissed instantly. So, yeah, completely different. I'm glad that people in Overwatch are playing together because that.
I mean, you're still gonna
that
get
whole
it.
thing was ridiculous.
People are still gonna be upset and feisty about things. But it seems overall, like for a while there, you would hear like, people swearing over chat like every game. And now it's so rare. Like it almost never happens anymore.
Man, that's just like a fantasy world to me, man. That's crazy.
I know, it's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I had to report someone the other day because they were swearing at someone in Spanish and thought they could get away with it.
Damn. Yeah, don't play Call of Duty. You're going to be reporting everybody.
Well, I don't play a lot of shooters because I don't really subscribe to that atmosphere.
Yeah, it's definitely that's something I've been like fucking just raised in the fires of fucking FPSs. I'm just used to it. Someone starts clapping at me, I just clap back instantly. It's just like a cultural thing. It's like, all right, you're one of those people. Let's do this.
I just mute everybody.
I did when I streamed. I'm like, I'm definitely because I knew like if I was streaming, I was talking to anybody in chat, and anybody heard me say anything, they'd flip me shit instantly, and then I just be making fun of them on fucking live stream in front of a bunch of people, and that just sounds really awkward. So I was like, I'm gonna do me and them a favor and just fucking mute everybody while I do this, because I know as soon as they hear me say anything to someone that's not them, they're gonna be like, oh, this guy's gay, or I fucked your mom, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay,
right, or
here we go,
very deeper, harsher degrees of wording.
Yeah, I almost threw one out, but I don't really use those words, so I don't know why I would hear. And anybody can use their imagination. We've all heard them, but yeah, you get a lot of those in different FPSs. So it's cool, wrapping it back around, that Overwatch is doing that. I do sometimes fear about making it overly sterile, but for the most part, it does sound. It's good that the community at least is taking it and being supportive with it and wanting to help other players, enjoy the game. So that's.
And there's been plenty of times that I've reported people for what I thought was offensive things, and nothing's come of it. So it's not like they're banning everyone just instantly.
Yeah, and well, that's been a thing forever, and especially in shooters, but most games, or even like on Xbox Live back in like the 360 or the first Xbox, when you report somebody, it's more like it just kind of goes somewhere, and if enough flags hit that person, they investigate it. So I hope they still maintain something like that, because every once in a while someone can say something stupid. I don't think they should be banned for it, even if it's really extreme. Most of the time, some words you fucking just really shouldn't be using. But like if you got a kid in there saying some dumb shit and you're gonna completely ban them or whatever, I know most games don't do it. I think there's other ways to convince those people that what they're doing is dumb and make them better, and not just go, you're a piece of shit, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. But the only game I really would like to see some cleaning of, just because it is one of the most toxic communities I've seen, and I just talked about Call of Duty people being assholes, but they're like my assholes. Like they're fine. Like they just say stupid shit. I say stupid shit back. It's fine. But like in Rainbow Six Siege, the community is fucked.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're really shitty and they team kill all the time, and it's been like that for a long time. I got that video I put on the channel a while ago of just some guys trying to when that happened, I did 3 different rounds or 3 different matches with different people each time, and each one of those somebody was shooting me or other people on the team. It was fucking rampant. It was stupid. So that's a game I think could, and Ubisoft has already addressed it. They've already enacted a bunch of stuff to clean that up. So yeah. Yeah.
So
that's good. That's good though.
Overwatch Halloween event.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Anything else?
I've been playing some Warframe again, anticipating their Halloween event, whatever it's going to be. It's usually just a color pack, a temporary helmet, and then some sort of like small story quest. But I was looking at Twitter earlier, and there's some new like sneak peek videos of things, and people are hinting that it's going to be, I think they're calling it Chimera. The Warframe they hinted at as Garuda, the lady with the blade arms. I think they're calling her Chimera. I could be wrong. I don't have all the information on that, but people are saying Chimera and then showing pictures of her and things like that. So process of deduction from what I have information-wise would say that they're hinting at her being released eventually.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one I've been hearing about the most, so it would make sense.
So that's cool. I'm excited for that. But nothing new to report, Warframe. There's rebuilding relays is a thing right now. They rebuilt one of the ones that got destroyed. I think was on Mercury. That's a fun thing. It's not like an old relay either. It's got its own like cosmetic aesthetic to it.
Okay.
So like there's more fire to it. It's more red. It's more of like akin to what I would think the Red Veil would design a relay to be. It's interesting. But it was fun. It's nothing too challenging to do, but fun nonetheless.
Cool.
And then the last thing I've been playing is I've been dipping my toes in some Enter the Gungeon lately.
Oh shit. That's a random one.
That is very random.
Yeah. I was watching some YouTube videos on it, and I was like, I want to try this again, and it's still hard for me, but I'm just dipping my toes.
Yeah, I like everything about that game except for it is a very typical roguelike. And its progression is not the progression I typically enjoy when it comes to roguelikes. So it's really hard for me to play it longer than a couple rounds to just go, yeah, it plays really well. It's fun. I love the way it looks. I love the imagination. I just, when I play games like Rogue Legacy or Dead Cells, those are the ones that stick with me because they have like a longer sense of progression in my mind of like getting skills and getting better and getting further and further. Whereas Enter the Gungeon, you get new drops essentially throughout the dungeons, which is cool, but it's really hard for me to get into.
Oh yeah, that's all I've been playing lately.
How far have you gotten in Enter the Gungeon?
Not really far.
Yeah.
I think I cleared 3 bosses.
Yeah.
Suppose I've gotten.
That's decent.
I about to say that's about as far as I ever got. So,
but I was one time.
Yeah.
One time.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the games you'll get into and you'll do like the first floor and you'll get killed randomly by something stupid. You're like, God damn it! And then the next time you get really fucking far, and then another time it's all the random elements obviously. So
right.
Yeah.
It's fun I play it, like you said, a couple rounds here and there.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's cool. That's cool. You're playing something different because normally I expect something from Blizzard. You've been playing WoW?
Kind of a little bit here and there, not as much recently. I'm at the point where I'm just grinding rep, so it's kind of a chore.
Is that a long-term thing? Because I haven't heard from Keith in a long fucking time. Keith,
there's a lot of rep to grind. A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people had it exalted with all the reps a while ago, but I just can't do that to myself. I can't just sit there and grind rep by doing world quests over and over and over and over again. I got to mix it up. So
yeah,
kind of taking a little break.
Yeah, I
feel that.
I had to back off of Final Fantasy 14 just because of the amount of stuff I'm playing right now. I was like, I'll come back.
You need to do that though, because you've actually, and obviously you're going to go into what you've been playing, but you've been knocking out some of the big games of this year recently, and I don't think you'd be able to do that if you had something you were putting time into like MMO wise.
Well, the same reason I haven't turned on Destiny too
Yeah.
as well. So.
Yeah. I also, not even that I was like done with Destiny. I still have a lot of shit I want to get done in that game, but right now I'm just trying to, like, this month I'm trying to crack down because there's so many fucking games being thrown at me this month, and I'm buying every single one of them, and fucking I'm already juggling the ones I got right now, and I can't play games like that right now, so I'm just like, I'm just gonna not touch them this month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel ya.
Anything else you want to say?
Nope, that's it. That's it.
Nothing. You haven't been playing oh shit, Minesweeper?
No.
Yeah, don't fuck that game. I'm gonna jump into mine just because I've only been playing 2 games, but I have quite a bit to say about them. First one I've been playing is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've already talked about this a little bit, but my opinion of this game is growing more and more and more positive. I do think it's actually a really great game. It's AAA as fuck. It looks great, plays great. Has a lot of bugs in a game like this, though. Not surprising, but there are some companies that do polish better than others, and Ubisoft definitely made a very big, expansive world that has some things that you definitely notice when you play it, but the game's so fun you don't give a shit. It has definitely, and I was talking with Almixai, of course, and Wade about this because we're all playing it right now. It is pretty much already an open world RPG. This is the first step of the 2 steps to make it transition into straight up just an RPG, which was really interesting to think about at first. Now it just kind of makes sense. The only thing that's really keeping it in the prior Assassin's Creed area is the parkour system, which isn't going to leave. It's just an open world RPG with parkour, which is awesome. And the stealth and assassinations, which is obviously a huge part of Assassin's Creed, and also another welcome addition to a open world RPG because most of them don't have really good, assassination or stealth elements. Obviously, games in the Elder Scrolls series have stealth, but it's pretty basic. It's just like when you crouch, have a percentage of how much they might be able to see you or not.
Regardless if you're standing in front of them
Exactly,
or not.
exactly. It's all systems based, and Assassin's Creed has been built from the ground up, thinking about stealth.
Yeah.
So it has a robust stealth system, and I love stealth games. So the idea of having a open world RPG with a really good stealth system where you can jump from the ceiling and like assassinate people and shit is really fucking cool. All the perks are really good. The world is huge. It's huge. There's so much shit to do. You can just do the storyline stuff and do a little bit of side quests, or you can just live in that fucking game. Every quest has full dialogue with it seems like every single dialogue that you have with anybody, there's always a choice to make at the very least. So that's really cool. You do feel like you're putting your input into it. I also realized too that Alexios is a master banger because fucking every chick I run into, there'll be like a heart next to some of the dialogue, and he just goes from like, she's like, my grandma lost her ancient relic a long time ago. I need it found. And then you click that and he's like, yeah, that sounds real bad, but we could have some fun. And then the girls are always like, yeah, we could have some fun, but how about the mission first? And then I hit that fucking button again. He's like, yeah, we can do the mission, whatever you say. But how about, he's like, we can find out how much fun we could have back there. They're like, okay, yeah, that sounds real fun, but how about you do that? And then you come back, then you hit that button again, and he's just real into it again. It's like he has like 0 game. But he's just like, I want to fuck. And then they're like, yeah, let's do it. And then you just walk into the room, and then they come out, and she's like, you know what? You were right. And he's like, I know. I'm like, well, goddamn. This guy's a sex god.
That is the worst conversation ever.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. I think it's funny. There's one too where I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. I was taking fucking painkillers for my foot, so it was kind of a blur. But you end up like cucking this old man and fucking his wife for like, it seems like a week. There's like a montage of him out front, and then like night and day cycles are happening. He's like sweeping. His friends are there hanging out and shit. And like Alexios and that old lady are just in the room back there for like days and days and days. And then you come out, and Alexios just looks real, like he's like, haha, yeah. And like the old guy looks at him. He's like, so did she have fun? And he's like, oh yeah, she had fun, all right. And I was sitting there, I was like, what?
You a gigolo now?
Dude, it's not only is it an open world RPG, it's a gigolo fucking simulator. It's ridiculous, but it's funny. But it was funny too because after that happened, the room I had just come out of, the bedroom. In the game, there's a system where mercenaries will come after you and hunt you down, and they're kind of annoying, but it's kind of cool too because it changes it up a bit. I'm not selling this game very well right now. I'm just making it so ridiculous. It's very fun, but after I talked to that guy, like right after I talked to him, I like turned my head and look over, and in the dark house, in the bedroom I was just in, cucking that old guy for like a week, I see this fucking red name over a guy walk into that bedroom, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I back up a little bit. It's like a horror movie. And then I see him walk out of the bedroom. He looks out the door over at me. He pulls his sword out and runs at me. I'm like, this guy is hunting me down so bad. He's going into these old people's bedroom looking for me and shit.
I mean, you were in there for a week.
I know. Yeah. So if he was tracking me, he did a really good job because I was in one spot for a week. But fucking, yeah, he comes out front. I kill him right on their fucking stairs, essentially. I'm like, this is bizarre. Anyway, the world's really big, really interesting. The naval stuff, well, I guess you can call it naval stuff, but the ship combat is really good. There's so much layers to the game with like skills you can unlock. The loot is very extensive. There's a shitload of it. You can upgrade it. You can augment it. You can do all that stuff to your ship. You can change the way your ship looks. You can change the way your crew looks. There's just a lot to it. It's an awesome game. I like it a lot more than Origins, and I thought Origins was a cool stepping stone for the series. But Odyssey is definitely where I want Assassin's Creed to be going. I really like it. I think you'd like it.
I'm sure.
You just gotta not focus on all the side stuff. I know a lot of people who love all the side stuff will probably argue against that, but for people who don't have the time to play that game forever, you know, you can get a great experience out of the game just by, you know, doing a little bit here and there, but sticking with the main story, which actually is pretty good so far. I'm very surprised by that. I've never given a fuck about Assassin's Creed storyline. I followed it for a little bit, and then it got a little crazy, and I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I've always liked the historical stuff. This one is definitely, it's got a really cool storyline for sure that I'm liking. It's done really well, portrayed really well. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's just awesome. Aside from a couple of the weird buggy things that happen once in a while, and Alexios, his really cheesy dialogue when he wants to fuck, it's really good.
Right on.
Yeah. Combat also is really fun. Really enjoy it. Although I was playing the game spec'd purely in stealth tree, and while I was streaming that, there's battles you can take place in, and the battles are supposed to be like Sparta versus Athens fighting, and you can pick a side kind of like Yojimbo and fucking just go in there and fight for whatever side and get rewards for it. And those are, it's supposed to look like everybody's fighting, but it's essentially you're fighting all the other team, and they all attack you at the same time a lot of times. And so I was spec'd in stealth, and that's how I've been playing the game. And I was like, this game's got a pretty decent challenge to it. I got to be really stealthy to play through it. And then I did that shit. And I wasn't spec'd for fighting really. I was ready for stealth, and I was getting my ass kicked like 2-3 times. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is gonna take a while. And like all excited, a couple other people were watching. They're like, oh, you should have the heal and the shield breaker move. I was like, I don't want to fucking rebuild my character just for that, just for these battles. And I did it. Now I'm just like, God damn it. Because with the heal move, which I think shouldn't be in a skill tree, I think it should be across the board. Everybody gets it because it changed the game. It became too easy. Now I play the game like a lawnmower. I don't even think about fucking sneaking. I sneak around until something happens, and then I just start going and just like go through people. When they hit me, if I get hit enough, I'm like, and like there's no fucking challenge anymore.
Like that scene from Dead Alive, where just puts the lawnmower over his shoulders.
Pretty much, that's me. That's me. I was talking with Josh about that too, because he hasn't even picked that skill yet, and he's still playing the game. And he's like, yeah, that sounds kind of like cheap. And I'm like, it's weird because it shouldn't be. Like a heal shouldn't feel cheap, but it's a skill in a skill tree. So it almost feels like if you go in that path, you're going to have a way bigger edge than anybody. It's almost like you need it. And you need it so much that I feel like everybody should just have access to that. No matter that. It almost feels like a waste, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of pigeonhole you to having to pick that tree and have a good experience.
Exactly. Because you can play without it. But it's just going to be significantly more difficult than someone who chooses to use it. So I was like, Josh is like, yeah, I wouldn't use that. I'm like, well, I've already used it. I'm not going to not use it now. I mean, it's just a heal, but it just makes such a huge difference in fucking combat. It's insane. Because before I had to be like really careful. Now I'm just like, oh, fuck it, dude. Smack me around. I don't give a shit. You guys are all going to die. You think I'm trapped in here with you? You're trapped in here with me. But yeah, Assassin's Creed's awesome. Definitely pick it up if you even thought about it. And if you haven't thought about picking it up and you like open world RPGs like The Witcher, Elder Scrolls, and every other one under the sun, that's what this game is now. So check it out. The other game I've been playing is Call of Duty Black Ops 4, which I am thoroughly enjoying. And just want to say real quick too, if you've ever liked Call of Duty multiplayer, if you only played them for the campaign, you do not pick this game up, because that's a fair point. People are like, there's no campaign. There isn't. I can't even like go, well, there kind of is. There isn't. So if you only play it for that, there's no game here for you. But if you like the multiplayer, this is the best Black Ops or Call of Duty's been since Black Ops 3 easily. And the new Battle Royale mode is awesome. If you're on the Battle Royale train right now and you're playing other ones, pick this up because it's a really good Battle Royale mode. Zombies is better than it's ever been. It starts with 3 maps that are really cool, really detailed. There's a huge progression to them now as well. You level up, you unlock stuff, so that's really cool. It almost literally feels like 3 different games. You're buying this game, you're getting 3 different types of online shooters, which is really cool. I even got, well, I didn't get him. He actually was saying he wasn't going to pick it up because it's way more expensive where he lives than here. But Almixai was like, it's more pricier than I'd like to, do, which is understandable. It's like another $10 more than it would have been here, which is weird.
Plus tax, yeah.
Yeah, plus tax. So it's kind of fucked up. But he was watching me on the stream and he's like, oh, should I pick this up? Should I pick this up? He's like, I picked it up. I'm like, okay, cool. So he started playing it. Then we got Wade playing and fucking, we were playing the multiplayer, which was really fun. But that made me really appreciate the Battle Royale. We played, I don't know, like 2 or 3 matches maybe, but that was really fucking fun. And they enjoyed it too, which was very nice because I've been sitting here going, hey, this game's pretty good. It's pretty good. You should try it out. It's pretty good. And then I think they agreed. I think they did. I think they did. It's hard to read Wade. He seemed kind of guy's got a very, very smooth voice. He's got a very smooth voice.
Smooth voice?
Yeah. Just throwing it out there, Wade. I know he's watching. But he's dangerous with the quad. So if you ever play a game with him, there's quads involved. Fucking get away from him.
Keep your distance.
Just back off. Yeah, let him do his thing. He was driving around us. We're like walking through a field, just like on edge, just like, okay, Wade, okay, get off the quad. And he's like, oh, you guys are fine. And he's just driving around us like a shark. And we're like, okay, dude, we're playing a game where we got to shoot other people and they're gonna shoot back at us. Let's get ready. And he's like, I'll just stay on the quad. And he's just driving around us and shit. And we're just like, ugh. We're like getting in the building. He's just outside revving it, looking at us. I'm like, at one point, Alexai's like, oh, I think there's someone down the street or whatever. And he like runs in the house real quick. I'm already in it because I'm really paranoid when I play these type of games. And Wade's just sitting there on the fucking quad, just out in the street, just like looking around. And I was like, get off that fucking thing. And at one point, he's like, someone's down the street, and he just drives away. And then we come out, and this guy comes driving down the road on a quad, and we just unloaded on and killed him. He's like, you see that? He's like, the quad helped. I got it. Or I called him out. I was like, yeah, that's real tactics you're using there. So there's a unspoken bond between Wade and the quad. Anyway, yeah, so that game's really fun. Definitely check it out if you're even slightly curious. Because I can't say enough. A couple things. It is the most sold digitally day one game on PlayStation 4, period, as of right now, which is crazy. It has sold double what World War II did digitally on PC, and World War II actually did pretty good. And on Xbox, it is the most sold digital Activision game. So it's selling very well right now. So people are really digging it, which is cool. I think a lot of that has to do with the Battle Royale hype right now. Everybody loves Battle Royals right now.
And even everyone got a taste of it.
Yeah. Well, everyone I know doesn't like Battle Royals, but everyone likes Battle Royals. That otherwise, because obviously people are playing them. But with PUBG kind of waning in its popularity, Fortnite absolutely not waning in its popularity.
Completely different style of game, though.
Yeah, 100%. But Blackout, which is the Battle Royale mode, is different enough from those to feel like its own thing, but it plays so tight and well and does everything that it's supposed to do exactly how it should be, how you'd expect it. I think it's bringing a third AAA feeling Battle Royale game, because there's other ones out there you can play. You play H1Z1, it's fine, I like it. It definitely is a little cheaper feeling than the other ones, and it's free as well. And there's a bunch of other ones you can play on Steam, and I've played most of them. They're all fine, but this it's got that fucking Fortnite quality to it. Like, you play and you know that these guys know what the fuck they're doing, and they made exactly what they needed to do, and it works great and plays great. So, yeah, really enjoying it. Need to play it some more. That's all I've been playing this weekend. It's Call of Duty. All I just hear is just gunshots and fucking leveling up sounds and my tactical pooch. He's a little beefy boy. I got this. There's a guy called Nomad who I play a lot, and he has these mines that he shoots. It's really interesting. He has a oh god, what is it called? Slingshot. And you shoot a mine there, and then wherever you shoot the other mine, it'll connect a line to each one, a laser. And anyway, walks through that, the whole area just explodes, which is really cool. So you can get really creative. But then if you get another two, because it has a recharge, you can shoot those around, and it'll connect the four, all the lasers and stuff. So you can make like a net.
So yeah, instead of just being a typical trip mine, it's more like a spider web.
Yeah, exactly. You can get really crazy with it. And then his secondary move, he whistles and a fucking little fat dog comes running out. And it just goes running around. And sometimes it like runs at people, and then it'll just turn and run away from them. And I'm like, is he like confused on like who's the threat and who's giving out the pets or what? Because like he's just running around like just excited, and then every once in a while go and just kill somebody and just run off. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? I also watched my dog kill another dog. Some other nomad on the other team let his dog out, and they both met. And then my dog went, and fucking the other one died. I'm like, damn, dude. Yeah, it gets kind of sad. Even Almix, me and Almix, were both like, every time we hear him, like in a distance, go, I'm like, oh man, that's rough.
Poor puppers.
He's just running around with his little tack vest on, just hanging out with the boys. Yeah, game's fun. I can talk about it all day, but I will pass it over to Chevy.
Well, I mean, already kind of covered that I played, I should say more, I dabbled in Secret World Legends. Need to play a little more, and I need to play the Plus games at some point, even though I am going to struggle with Friday the 13th. So, other than that, I only played 2 other games. I finished God of War, finally. I was at I was in Elfheim, and then I went from there, and I just played until I completed it. So, to give people who have played it a scale of how much I played in the last week.
Mm-hmm. You cruised through it.
Yeah, I can't really discuss too much on it because it's definitely a game I think is still new enough to not want to spoil it for people. The story is very, 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 very fucking good. So
thank you for having that mentality, because there's a movie called Infinity War that before it even came out on Blu-ray, it was in between being in theaters and coming out to Blu-ray, and IGN was showing the ending of the movie all over Twitter. And people were like, well, dude, it's been out. I'm like, what other movie, as soon as it's done in the theaters, before you even have access to that shit, are people going, here's the end of the movie you saw, right? That's a weird assumption to make. Anyway, not a video game, but still, fucking, that's so ridiculous. But, like, you should give, like, people, like, months to, like, if it's, like, a long-form game that, like, some people might not have the time or money to play right now, it's unfair to just be like, this is what happens. Sorry, you didn't get a chance to play it yet.
I constantly see Sony Santa Monica retweeting people's, hey, I finally beat your game. Hey, I finally beat your game. Like, frequently still. So people are still playing it. So sure. I don't want to spoil anything.
Not everybody can run out and buy games constantly and shit, too.
No, and it's not a short game.
Exactly, yeah.
So, to keep it vague, storyline-wise,
keep it vague, he did go back to his house at the end of the game.
I did go back to my house, and I am 2 Valkyries in to the Valkyrie hunt right now. The third one slapping me around like a little bitch constantly. So
they're pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I have not almost like thrown something in a while, and I finally was like, I've shut this off.
Yeah, it gets pretty frustrating.
Yeah, so I was like, I can't do this right now. But they are designed to be like an end game thing. Mm-hmm. So I read something, they're like, even in the best gear in the game, they're designed to be hard. Yeah. So I was like, cool.
Yeah, which is awesome that a single player story driven action game has like an MMO quality of like having an end game thing to work towards.
And then it has New Game Plus, where you get to keep all your stuff and just go through the story again. Yep. So yeah. Really good game, completely worth $60. If you're even thinking about buying the game, you should 100% buy the game.
So glad to hear you say that.
Just going to go out and say it. If I'm going to grade the game, it's an A. I mean, there's almost nothing wrong with it.
He just gave you guys a review. Didn't even have to ask for it.
Wow.
not very in depth, but I mean every aspect of the game is good. The cinematics are amazing, the music is amazing, the voice acting is amazing, the storyline is amazing, and there are twists and turns to keep you on your toes the whole time. The side quests are completely entertaining, and the extra stuff is something you want to go do, and the backtracking doesn't bother you because the world isn't boring. So
100%.
There's
Reminder: Chevy sang this.
Yeah. It's a very, very, very good game. So
it is.
Yeah, if you have a PlayStation, or if you're looking for a reason to buy a PlayStation, God of War is the game, I think. So, speaking of other quality PlayStation only games, I also started Spider-Man. I'm 30% through that game.
Damn.
Right
yeah,
now.
he beat that, and then he came in my room. He's like, "Hey, you got Spider-Man like physical copy of it?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You want to play?" He's like, "Yeah, I need a break from God of War." And I was like, "Fuck
yeah,
you're
after
just
I got mad.
marathon running through all the fucking big hits."
So, that is another really, really quality ass game. Though it is at a disadvantage because I literally played God of War and then I played Spider-Man the same day.
That's kind of fucked up because you played God of War and I could tell you're getting into it and shit, which is cool. And then you're like, can I play Spider-Man? And I didn't even think about it because I had the break between them. I played God of War when it first came out. I beat it pretty quickly because I didn't want it spoiled for me. And then I played Spider-Man when it came out and I beat it. And I saw like huge value in both games, and I'm sure you do too.
Oh, yeah.
But that separation of time allowed me to not think about God of War, because after I beat God of War, I was still like thinking about it, like, whoa, dude, like fucking, there's so much to that. And then I so I had that out of my system, and then I played Spider-Man separately. I'm like, this game's almost a flawless game. If you think about like a video game and its mechanics and gameplay and fun factor, this game is almost a flawless game in that sense. But yeah, if I had just beaten God of War and I went into Spider-Man, it would probably dampen the experience.
So it is hard for me to be super excited about all the things in Spider-Man just because they're all not as good as God of War.
Whew, hopefully. I mean, I think a lot of people will agree with you, but a lot of people also might not agree with you. Well, those are both two big games.
Now, I have to say though, Spider-Man is great in every regard. Mm-hmm. It has very heroic music, especially like you're just zipping through the city, and which is quite amazing. The way they did it, you feel like Spider-Man 100%.
Yeah.
But you have this epic music going, and there's constantly something going on. Whether it's the guy who hates you on his radio show, or like Aunt May calls you, or someone else calls you, and there's always something. So there's always, you're not just like mindlessly going through the city to no noise. There's something happening, which is kind of a good thing because you had mentioned it and I noticed it too. There's not a lot of city noises, which is really weird.
Okay, I'm not crazy. I knew I wasn't, but I'd like to hear that.
Nitpick.
Yeah.
Combat is good.
I fucking love it.
It gets better, I've noticed, as you get more skills, but it starts off super basic. So
it does, but it does get super complicated as well. Because even towards the end of the game, I was like ducking under shit, sliding under people, doing backflips, shooting them in the face of the web, jumping onto the wall and sticking to it and launching off and hitting a dude, and then someone shoots a missile at me. I'm fucking grabbing it, swinging in the air, and throwing it at somebody while kicking someone in the air, swinging and kicking them off a roof, and then fucking grabbing them and flipping them back to the ground, then slamming onto the ground and throwing a fucking sewer lid thing against somebody's head and fucking
No, and for sure,
all within like 4 seconds.
I was gonna say I recently got the ability in the skill tree that the higher your combo is, the more your
meter fills,
your ability meter fills up. And I've been using the ability where you jump up there and just start shooting web in every single direction, which is amazing. And especially doing like it's a side quest, so I could talk about it, or side objective. The Fisk owned construction yards, doing those. Because you do like 5-6 waves of just constant dudes, and you don't get to finish a wave before the next wave comes too. It's like they make sure there's a couple guys left over before they throw the next wave at you. So you're nonstop fighting for I don't know, 10 minutes it feels like. And it does, like, at first it's literally just dodge, punch, and then eventually it turns into dodge, uppercut, fight in the air, stick you to the wall while you're still in the air, dodge mid-air from a gunshot, grab the guy's gun. You're still in the air doing this. Take his weapon away from him, slam the guy underneath you. Like, you literally can just sit there and like mold where people are and what they're doing the whole time. You're 100% just manipulating the battlefield.
Yeah, if you're playing well, yeah.
Yeah. So the only one that drives me nuts is the big bulky guys still, because
they annoyed me at the end of the game.
Specific way to get rid of them.
Yeah,
Everyone
they're
else
annoying.
You can fight and kind of play with those guys that literally have to go, okay,
They're not even hard. They just disrupt the fight because
punch.
because if you don't take care of them earlier than later, they attack relentlessly. They constantly attack, and they don't take damage the same as other people. You don't stop them with most of your attacks the same way. And small nitpick, not a big deal. But for a dude who can pick up a fucking car and throw it and fight super villains,
that's going like 80 miles per hour,
and stop super villains, some guy who weighs like 300 pounds shouldn't be a fucking big deal for Spider-Man. So, but for gameplay, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a systematic thing for combat, obviously.
But when I'm fighting these guys, I'm like, it's like some random like thug too, and he's just bigger than everybody else. He comes running at me. He's a little tougher. I'm like, you're still
clocks you for 30% of your hit points.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're still not anything to Spider-Man though. Like, he should be able to fucking punch you in your face and it'd be done. Or like when you web them and go pull them and they just pull your web away from them. I'm like, that shit can support fucking vehicles and stuff like that.
I would say,
and that guy's just like, no.
To go back to the vehicle thing, when you're chasing a vehicle down the street, you hop on and you pull the drivers out or all the people inside out, and leave them for the cops to find. All of a sudden, and the animations are great, but like hopping on the hood, planting your feet, and just 2 strings of web against the buildings and
that car's trajectory should be stronger than that guy going. No,
but that guy can be like,
get your fucking web off me. Like, all right, pissy.
My favorite though is when you pull the guy out and the car starts flipping and you literally get under it and you just go, and you plant your feet and you just stop the momentum of a car that's been going like 80 all of a sudden. Like, and there's one thing I have to give this game credit for is Spider-Man in a lot of video games is portrayed as just the agile dude. Yep. He's not. He's a superhero. He has super strength, and they really portray that very well in this game. So yeah, he can just stop a car like that.
Well, that's why it's believable too when you're fighting a bunch of dudes and they're punching you and hitting you with shit and shooting you. It takes all that to kill you. Yeah. He still can die by guns. Yeah. Like when people are pointing guns at him, stuff like that. But he just is dodging it most of the time or taking a round or whatever, or getting hit enough. And it makes sense that a group of people could potentially, if you don't play well enough, murder you if you're a bad Spider-Man. But it's not like they still portray him as a very strong dude.
Oh yeah, which I'm very happy about, especially because when you're Peter Parker instead of Spider-Man, he just looked like some normal guy, which is great.
You look like you're related to Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Also, I have to give him props. Every time you get out of the costume, you're wearing different clothes. Your casual clothes are different every time. That is a detail I did not expect, and most people don't do. Yeah. So that's just a small like, ooh, that was fun eye candy.
I even like in between missions when you go from Spider-Man to Peter Parker, you have to go find your duffel bag of clothes. So like that's to initiate the quest mission is to go back into normal clothes or whatever.
Even the collection stuff, right? Most open world games have them go collect all the what was the plant in Skyrim that you had to go get, and I don't know, you needed 100 of them or whatever, and then every game has it. You go collect 100 things throughout the world or whatever. This one has backpacks that throughout his career Spider-Man.
I forgot about the backpacks. I did all those right in the first hour.
Yeah, well, and it's from his high school days, right? So in his high school days, he had to go, oh crap, stick my backpack to this wall and go fight crime. Well, he's forgotten a few of them.
Yeah.
So you collect backpacks, and every time you get one, there's a relic of his past, and then when you actually look at it, he'll tell a story about it. So every backpack is literally a different like lore element for him, essentially, or his past.
The game is packed with shit.
Yeah, and he has something to say about everything. Yeah, which makes the monotonous like fetch quests and stuff like that not monotonous.
The whole game is even if you're doing even when you do like research quests, I don't know if you got those yet or not. Research missions, they're all different. They all have a different story for why you're doing it,
and they're all challenges essentially.
They're all challenges, but they all have different dialogue, different reasons you're doing it, different stories behind why this research is happening, and most of the time different things to do in the research. So they were not lazy making this game.
No,
and especially I really want you to beat it because the storyline does get really good. More than because I like comic books much as I grew up with comic books like most people and shit like that, but I fell out of it as I got older. So and I got comic book fatigue from the movies right now because there's just so many of them. So playing Spider-Man again, I was excited because I used to love Spider-Man. I used to love the games, but they got kind of whatever. And then I played this, and so I'm not coming into it going like, yes, Spider-Man. I fucking love comic books. I was like, dude, yeah, this should be fun. I beat it, and the storyline, I was like, that was a pretty good storyline. Like actually, like I liked it better than almost every movie I've seen of the Spider-Man movies. And like without saying anything, there's a part that I actually got kind of teary-eyed watching, which I did not expect from fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. So like they did an amazing job with this game.
Yeah, I've spent so much time doing a bunch of side stuff that storyline wise, what am I doing without spoiling anything? I finished the museum recently.
Well, it's weird. Like
got a mask.
The storyline of the game is really slow burning until essentially one thing happens, and then the story goes, ugh, like you think you're almost done with the game, and then it pretty much the main story starts. It's weird.
Well, it seems like a lot of the missions, and it was very smart of them to do this, are intentionally introducing aspects to the game for you. So like the research center, for example, was part of a storyline mission, and then it becomes an optional thing to do.
When there's events coming from the story, they'll open up new city challenges.
And this what I'm noticing is that they didn't want to just throw that all at you at once.
Which I appreciate, because
too.
I get overwhelmed.
Well, and the way it works in this game too is right off the bat, once you get the backpacks, for example, you can literally go collect all of them right now if you want to.
Well, that's
get it out of the way. You're done.
The game had just come out, and me and everyone in the community who early adopted the game were playing it at the same time. People would be like, oh, what do you like? How do you like the game so far? I'm like, I don't know. I've barely played it. I started the game. I did the first mission, and then I went and collected all the backpacks. Because I looked around, I'm like, wait, I can collect all these right now?
Right now.
And I was like, and my brain's like, do it. Just go get them. I'm like, I want to play the game. It's like, no. Just get those fucking backpacks. Dude, they're everywhere. They're not even that hard to get. Just go grab them.
That's such a nice idea. I hate when you have a game like that introduces like a collectible feature and then they block it behind like story wall content. Like, oh, well, there's like half the stuff over here, but you got to get this far in the story before you can get the rest of it.
The whole city's accessible.
Hate that.
The whole city's accessible, and there are challenges that open up later, but they coincide with the story. So like new enemy types will show up, and then challenges that have to do with them will now be available. But I like that because it gives you early in the game challenges to knock out and just be done with them and not have to think about it anymore. And then it introduces new ones, and that's just like, I always bring up Assassin's Creed Unity, but I remember looking at the map in that game, and there's just too many fucking things
everywhere.
Icons all over the fucking map. And I'm like, this is almost too much. I'm never gonna do this. This is literally, they did this just to be like, you're busy, you'll never have nothing to do, so fucking just play the game. And I appreciate that, but at the same time, it was lazy.
And it's daunting.
Yeah. So
it's
the way
really
they
bad
did
pacing.
it's like a slow churning, like fucking, okay, here's some challenges. Do those. If you can do them all right now if you want. It's your fucking game. Okay, here's some more challenges. All right, you're almost at the end of the game. Here's some more challenges. Yeah.
And you want to do some, because let's say you buy suits, let's say you buy powers and gadgets.
And
stuff
that's
like
what
that.
incentivized me to do them. They're all fun and interesting, but that there's stuff I wanted, and that's how you get them, was really smart. It wasn't just get them to get
has
them.
its own currency.
Yep.
So
really fucking cool. Really smart.
So very cool game. Even though I started off, obviously, it probably sounded like I was going to be negative. I actually think this game is very good. And if the story continues the way, obviously, that Seth has said, and I mean, the gameplay is fine. Like I said, I probably don't have the hype for it because I literally came straight off of God of War into this.
Yeah.
And quality, like, God of War is an amazing, like, one-of-a-kind game.
Top tier, dude.
Hard to compare. It'd be like if I played Last of Us and then played something else. So
Spyro the Dragon.
yeah, which is probably a fun and great game, but it's not The Last of Us.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, we can talk about Spider-Man all day. I'm
and
sure.
to be fair, Spider-Man's storyline I did like a lot. It's not as good as God of War.
Yeah,
it's not. Like, but that's obviously a subjective thing. If you're really into comic books and not as much into bearded buff dads, you might prefer Spider-Man. But I just thought that like the writing of God of War was top tier and really fucking just expansive on where it's going with a storyline that it's like what Star Wars used to be. When you finish one of the Star Wars movies, you're like, fuck, dude, what's going to happen next? What's coming?
Yeah.
I beat God of War and I was like, I can't wait for this fucking trilogy. This has to be a trilogy. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Right.
And this shit. Where Spider-Man was like, damn, that was fucking
and the
good. That was
foreshadowing
dope.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I've been playing the exclusives.
You've been playing bangers, dude.
This week,
Straight up bangers.
so, yeah.
Got a couple more to play, but those are the top ones.
Trying to get these all knocked out before the end of the year so I can do my game of the year.
Question for both of you then: of the two games, which would you recommend a person to buy first? Like for me, for example, if I were to go out, I would choose one because they don't have a lot of income. Which one do you recommend first?
That's a tough one because I think God of War they're both awesome AAA quality games, both very fun, and both have meaningful to me storylines that are interesting. So it's tough, but I think Spider-Man brings a more of a fun factor, a more laissez-faire, like I can enjoy this and kick back and have fun with it. God of War is like you want to be there and pay attention to every bit of the story and the lore. You want to invest time into understanding everything. You want to pay attention to all the nuance in the acting, and you want to really try and guess where this is going and then be surprised where it doesn't go the way you thought it was. And you want to talk about the deeper elements of it with people. It's a thinking game, which sounds really weird for an action game, but I mean, like, the storyline is very smart. And Spider-Man is just a really fucking solid comic book story told that plays amazing.
It is, and I think Spider-Man is the safest choice for most
100%.
people. But I do think they both offer something that I think makes the dollar worth it as well for both games, outside of just gameplay and story, which is they both have a lot of extra stuff to do.
Yep.
Which is really nice to see.
They're not one and dones.
They're not. I think, however, that with God of War and for most people who want like more of a challenge in the game, especially because like you have played like Dark Souls and like Bloodborne, since we're talking to you about it, I think there's more in God of War for you than perhaps Spider-Man, in my opinion. But that's really hard to say. Because they're both good games. They both offer a lot, but and I don't think $60 is a bad price for either game, because you do get your money's worth, I think. So
I would, on a personal level, suggest God of War to anybody just because it had the bigger impact on me. But I think a wider audience would probably accept wanting to play, not watch. I think everybody could watch God of War easily, but wanting to play Spider-Man just because it's a bigger demographic on who I think could enjoy it more. Not to say, obviously, that people aren't going to enjoy God of War. Everybody did. Everybody played it and loved it. But it is more focused towards a specific group of people who are going to enjoy that kind of storytelling and brutality. There's some pretty brutal parts without getting too technical on who and what. I was reminded of some of the brutality when you're playing it towards the end, when he's repeatedly bashing someone's head in over and over and over and over with his fists.
Or the Valkyries.
And there's
Have
just
you fought Valkyries?
There's a couple of them, and there's just blood like going everywhere, like, and not in like splatting everywhere, but like just going just like spreading across the ground and shit. And his fists are getting bloodier, and I was like, holy shit! But he's an angry boy. Angry man. He's got a boy.
Everyone's angry in those games. Yeah. They're just more realistically angry now than they used to be when they first introduced.
Less more porny now, just like you're watching and going, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
You're making sure that dude fucking
brutal.
dies. Yeah.
Especially like the big tall dudes. I can't remember any of the monster names, but they carry the big pillars or whatever.
Yeah.
The way you take
absolute unit.
Yeah. You just get on top of them, you start beating the shit out of them, drag them to the ground, and you're like, I'm going to take this thing that's heavy and
you like hook them in the fucking mouth with your axe and you yank their head to the ground, and then you bring their fucking big tree trunk shit rock thing and slams on their head and kills them. Yeah. And Spider-Man's the opposite, because you're kicking people off of giant skyscrapers
and they cannot die.
And somehow they have something equipped on them that will attach them to the side of the building no matter what. So even though I would argue that fall in velocity and getting stuck to the side of the building still killed them, Spider-Man would tell me I'm wrong. He's like, I'm not a mass murderer.
Physics are different in superhero worlds.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, he did kill someone once by accident trying to save them.
Oh, I killed a shitload of people. Not on accident in that game.
It's a much faster way to do combat on rooftops. You're just like, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Batman doesn't kill. Spider-Man murders the fuck out of people. He cares about science. He doesn't give a shit about morality. So yeah, we didn't even answer your question, but I mean,
Well,
kind
you
of.
did though, but you did. You gave recommendations based on like certain aspects of the game. So I think it's a
Yeah.
good broad statement for anybody who's looking to buy either one of them.
Which one sounds more
Can
interesting to you?
I think Spider-Man right now sounds more personally appealing because it's more lighthearted, and something
It
less
is.
to like super hard to focus on. But I think that eventually God of War will be the pick for me.
Yeah, and I do think that even if somebody enjoyed Spider-Man gameplay-wise more somehow, they'd probably still get more out of God of War, just because it's a really deep and meaningful story.
Right.
That
right.
is just like Last of Us, something to be respected. You play through that and you just go, holy shit, somebody wrote their fucking heart out writing that fucking story.
Well, also, if you have any appreciation for Norse mythology, the way they play around making their own story with Norse mythology, and then connecting that with the Greek mythology. God, my brain stopped for a second there. Greek mythology and how those worlds are actually connected and stuff like that. There's some real imagination in storytelling in that regard, and so yeah,
100%. I'm thinking about maybe potentially skipping the third part of this episode.
okay.
Okay, because this is running longer, and I actually really like the conversation because you just played through like a big ass game that I think is something I haven't gotten to talk about in the whole time I fucking beat it. So, and then Spider-Man, obviously. I wonder if there's a way I could let Chris borrow Spider-Man somehow.
He can share play both games.
Oh yeah, I guess you could do that.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how the fuck that works. I'd like you to play them because fucking we got to talk about our favorite games of the year. So I also want you to play Detroit at some point.
Yeah, it started. I just obviously got sidetracked.
Yeah,
So.
it's just a lot better than I thought it'd be.
I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I don't think I've
Yeah.
hated any of their games. So
It's their best one too. Fucking easy. Okay. Anything else?
no.
No. Okay.
What are we at? Wow, we had some dead time. So about an hour.
Yeah, we're about an hour. But anybody have anything else? I'm gonna say real quick, just because this month is so hectic. I know a lot of you guys are thinking about the games that come out this month, and I have picked up. Just saying real quick, Forza, and I like that a lot. I've also played, like I said, AC and Black Ops. So far, so good. All the games have been great. If anybody's played Mario Party, let me know, because that's one of those I want to play it, but
RX did.
RX Gaming did. I don't know him.
Well, yeah, but he did a review on it. So
I'll talk to that fucking dude. He's just looking at me, and be like, "Oh, you don't, your beard ain't that big." I'm like, "Bitch, it's growing." I got hair, dog. I don't know for how long though. I'm getting older. We're all dying soon. And yeah, so next one I'm going to be picking up that I'm anticipating is Soul Calibur. Really excited for that. I know Keith just asked about that. I haven't heard from you in a while, and he came in and asked or said, he's excited for it. I'm excited for it as well. I believe that comes out next Friday.
yeah, I think so. And then after that is Red Dead.
Red Dead, which is, wow, this actually worked out perfectly. So Almost I requested that we talk about real quick, and I'm going to use very vague terminology here because I don't know the full details on it. Please let me know in the comments if you have the main details, the real details, the name of what this is called. But essentially the Ultimate Edition of Red Dead Redemption 2 is, I believe, digital, and it is supposed to come with all the stuff you'd expect. But it's also going to come with experience boosters, I believe a permanent one. You want to look it up real quick? And I'll just kind of rattle off the top of my head. It's supposed to come with, I think, a bunch of the in-game currency that, or not in-game, the pay-for currency that you're going to be able to pay for when the multiplayer comes out. But it's supposed to have 2 exclusive missions and 1 exclusive gang hideout that you can only get if you pay for this Ultimate Edition.
For the single player or the multiplayer?
Single player.
Okay.
So he had a little bit of concern about it. A couple people do. I've been reading in forums of people talking about it. And I don't know if it's just because people are really excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. Me too. I'm with you guys 100%. But a lot of people are saying it's not a big deal. And I, within our community, have seen some concern. So I was wondering what you guys think about that. And to be clear, Rockstar has already talked about it a bit anyway. And they said that these missions don't have to do with the storyline. So they are bonus missions you can only get through the Ultimate Edition, but they don't have to do with the storyline. They were designed for this Ultimate Edition, and the hideout has nothing to do with the storyline.
Go ahead, Chris.
I mean, if it has nothing to do with the main storyline, and the only edge you're getting is like, you know, more experience permanently throughout the game, I personally don't see a lot of issue with it. The experience gain might give you an edge over people. I don't know if there's going to be like a PvP mode in this game. I never played a Red Dead Redemption before, so I can't give you too much thought.
You didn't play the first one?
Okay,
like
Cowboys.
Okay, yeah. But I like how for us that's the discussion, that's the argument. Cowboys. Okay, yeah. No, in the original Red Dead Redemption, the online mode was essentially an open map that you could run around and do a bunch of random shit, but it was the Wild West, so you could shoot people and kill them no matter what. So this will probably be the same way, and that in-game currency will essentially buy you stuff. If it's anything like Grand Theft Auto 5, in Grand Theft Auto 5 you could buy vehicles, you could buy houses, you could buy guns. So this will give you... A lot of people in the threads are arguing that it's just a booster. You're buying for quicker ways to the end game content faster than other people, but you're not getting stuff that other people won't get. You're just getting to it faster. And some people are like, I don't know why you'd pay for that. But you can still do it. So I do almost see a problem with that, but because they haven't shown the exact details of what that'll entail, it's hard to gauge because like in a co-op game, I wouldn't care at all. Yeah. But in a game where someone can get the edge on you, it becomes more complicated.
It's complicated because it depends on what the end game content is and how like power creep wise it is. Like if it's much stronger, like to a noticeable advantage in comparison to like the stuff you get mid game, even early game, then it can be a problem because it can create really hard unbalances and a kind of like a feel of pay to win scenario to it. So if that is the case scenario, then that's unhealthy for games. It doesn't create any. It makes everybody feel like it's just a money grabbing scheme, and then people stop playing the game, and the online community just becomes divided.
Which won't happen in this, but yeah, that is definitely a realistic concern. I do think that it is being overblown a bit because I think some of it, in a sense, it does feel unfair. Because if you have the money, you're getting a greater benefit in a game where other people have to work harder to get the same thing. So that does, in a sense, suck. But when you're getting a permanent XP booster, I've seen that in games before, and it's always like 2 or 5%, which isn't a lot, but it still is something. But it's still not enough to really, like, you're always going to be a little ahead of everybody. But at the end of the game, when you're max level and everybody else is max level, you just got there faster because you paid for it. So I don't think it's that big a deal, though it is kind of cheesy. Is there anything on this specifically that you were showing me?
That's where it talks about the mission part. It looks like it is a bank robbery.
Yeah, which in context. So at first when I heard that, I'm like, that is shitty that people are going to have a mission that you don't get. But per console, sometimes they put missions that you don't get on other games, and the other people aren't even noticing it because they probably aren't even important missions. It's just another mission that is like a mission you have, pretty much, probably. And it just is a good way to sell that copy. Now someone's going to give you way more fucking money than they were going to before because they like the idea of getting extra content versus someone like me. I don't necessarily need more missions, probably. The game's probably fucking chock full of them. The hideout, though, kind of sucks because like the idea of having access to different hideouts and someone have one extra one kind of sucks, but it's not that big a deal. I don't know. I'm really mixed on it because I ultimately understand why somebody would think it's shitty. And it is, in a sense, absolutely 100% a paywall. But to content that I personally don't care about all too much.
Yeah.
Like if there was like the best horse in the game or the best gun in the game and you only got it through money, I'd see a huge issue there. Or like if you got a whole another section of the map, which would be insane, but you get where I'm coming from. Something extreme would make me go, that's fucked. But if they made the game completely and then when they were making that Ultimate Edition, they went, well, make another heist real quick for it. You know, like I'm sure there's already plenty of heists in the game. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Chevy?
Well, my thoughts are, and this is going to be, it's hard to have like a black and white opinion about this. So
yeah, 100%. My brain already doesn't really work that well.
It's a single player game, right?
Yeah. Well,
so you not get it. Well, in the case of whatever you're getting, it seems like they're single player,
except for the money that you're going to get.
Yeah, but they did that with Grand Theft Auto, and that obviously didn't affect it. So it's not
That's
the
the
first
big thing,
rodeo there. And personally, that one doesn't even fucking matter to me. Whoop-de-doo, you can buy a fucking nicer horse a little earlier. The bonus the content though is kind of the part where I am gonna have an opinion, and it's tricky because, like you said, in certain types of games it's gonna matter less than others. In competitive games, it matters probably the most because you are getting something that everyone else doesn't have, and that is going to be community dividing at that point. We see a lot of companies get pulling away from that right now, but in a single player game, if it's not altering the actual experience of the game, right? So you're getting the full story the same way everyone else is, and all you're getting is a bonus, like there's one more bank you can rob, which is what it seems like. And I'm not 100% sure. Please feel free to put the details there. We did a very quick look.
Yeah, this is like on the spot. We're talking out our ass.
Yeah. But in the case that it is just an extra bank robbery or whatever, okay, I don't care that much about that.
Rockstar does. They're getting a shitload of money for that fucking little extra mission.
They are, and there are going to be people who do care, but on a personal level, I don't think it really matters.
Well, in the overall consensus I'm seeing in the thread is most people are opposed to wanting to buy it because they don't like the idea of getting more content that they want to earn faster, which is really interesting. I would say 85% of everyone I read in every thread that I found was saying that.
Their choices of the consumer, though.
Exactly.
So,
it's just weird to see that many people opposed to it. Not even because they don't have the money. Like, a lot of people are like, that's a lot of fucking money. Agreed. But the main argument is like, is this going to fuck everybody who doesn't buy this? And a lot of people are like, I don't get what people do in the first place. I'd rather just play the game as it was intended and not want to speed through the content, which I can understand. And I'm not opposed, like you were saying with the single player thing, of speeding through content sometimes. Like Battlefield, for a while there, sold packs where you buy all the guns for the medic, all the guns for the whatever the fuck engineer or the hell support.
Yeah, you can kill anyone with anything in that game.
But that game lends itself separately to me just because you can pick the first gun you get in that game or the last gun you get in that game, and you can still be just as effective.
Yes.
The guns are very slightly changed, and they're more changed in the sense of like not from good to better, but like this gun's parameters are slightly different than that gun's parameters.
And it works better for your playstyle.
And so, you know, somebody who's like 40 years old who's playing Battlefield for an hour, maybe a night, or you know, a couple nights a week, doesn't play the game a whole lot because that game's got a shitload of content to unlock.
16-year-old who has, you know,
yeah, I'm not opposed to it because I don't really see they're getting an edge. I feel like they're just accepting to pay for access to content they don't have time to get to. That doesn't unbalance the game. But if you're playing a game where it's level based and like at level 70 versus like level 30 or whatever, in, you know, weapons, there's gonna be a giant fucking difference, and you're fighting against people, then there's an issue because you are and it's not ranked in some way. I don't know what game I'm talking about here, but I'm just throwing an example out there. Then I see a big deal because, I mean, even Call of Duty, fucking the first gun is typically not as exciting as the last guns you're unlocking,
right,
but they're all still completely effective.
For sure.
The ones later just get more experimental, more exciting in the sense, but most FPSs are like that though nowadays.
Yeah, the weapons are balanced to kill.
Yeah,
and then
play styles, like how you want to
fits
shoot
into
shit.
your play style.
Yeah.
You unlock more goodies to like customize your play style, not to make you better in most cases. So, but as far as like this particular, you know, case goes, you know, if it just comes down to like you having the opinion of why would people buy it, well, you don't have to, and who cares what other people do with their money. So
the only thing though is if there's in some way they can get an edge on them in multiplayer. I understand where they're coming from, 100%.
and I don't think they can.
But they are getting a chunk of the pay for currency with that, which they'd be able to buy anyway. I guess
it happened with the last game, and it didn't cause any problems.
Yeah, so. I don't remember. There's a lot of things I heard complain about that, but it was never that. I don't know. I think time will tell, and I don't think Rockstar is stupid. It's just a hunch.
Especially since they got to beta test this in the last game, so they have an idea now.
I really hope they fix server shit. That's my biggest complaint. I just want to be able to stay with my fucking posse when I pop around doing missions.
It's also difficult for me because you know, if I decide to pick up the game, it will be for the single player. So
yeah. Not me. I'm doing it all. I'm living in that game. I already know a couple people who will be there with me doing
I'm
that.
hyped because everybody else is hyped.
Yeah.
Chris is just happy to be here.
I'm not. I mean, and I am very hyped for the game. Very excited. I know I'm gonna love it. And I love cowboy era stuff. I love fucking lever action guns and shit. It's right up my alley. But yeah, there's some people who are very excited for this game, like super excited, and that drives my excitement more. So I kind of feel where Chris is coming from, because I know originally Chris wasn't like the biggest, like not that you've ever said anything negative about the game, but like you've never been like, oh my god, guys, there's a cowboy game, I'm so excited. It's just more like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then now everybody's just like, oh, it's coming out soon, and I'm just like, yeah, it is. You're right. Fucking, I'm getting excited now too. And Chris is just like, everybody's happy, I'm happy. Let's all be happy and play games. Yep. It's really, really interesting. But
that is me.
Yeah. Who loved God of War and said very good things about it. So he's not completely devoid of being very excited, I guess. Expressive, that's the word. Yeah, I'm still amped up from my thing I did. That got me fucking nuts. So yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of all agree on this a bit. I mean, that's not a big surprise. We all kind of got pretty common sensibilities when it comes to this kind of thing. I think, there is a gray area there, and I understand both sides 100%. And there is risk, absolutely, for this to be bad. But I think more so, it's just, I think we're going to get past it, and you're not going to think about it anymore. I think preemptively, it's more of the concern. But after it happens, you won't even remember that it even happened.
I also bet you it's 2K is doing so.
Oh, probably.
Publishers got to make.
But Rockstar is fucking huge, though. So I mean, they're not little Mr.
They obviously they're not. Look how much money they made off of GTO. So
yeah, that's why they just did that forever, and they support the shit out of that. So I'm excited to see what they do with Red Dead.
Mm-hmm. If you're gonna make money off an online faux MMO experience, you should support it.
They did exactly what they said they're going to do. They said, we're going to treat this like an MMO, and they did.
Good.
The first year was very slow. It kind of was like slow churning, but like towards the end, they're popping out huge content constantly.
Destiny 1, Division 1.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Division 2. I said it. I'm saying controversial things. I like Destiny 2. I like Call of Duty. I want to play Division 2. Look at me being just
I'm just excited for it to not be in like a grid of
rebels. Yeah. Anything else to be said on Red Dead Redemption 2? Buying ultimate versions of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I just
think of Warframe and like Prime Access. This is what it is to me.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I have to still stress again though is there is an adversarial component to this, because otherwise if it was 100% cooperative or just single player, I would not even give a shit. I'd barely be having this conversation. But that you may potentially be able to buy weapons earlier than other people quicker. I know
I'm gonna die either way.
Yeah, sure. But Red Dead Redemption, the original one, fucking the online, was Troll City, Griefer fucking City. Everybody was trying to shoot your horse in the face and kill you as quick as they could. This will be the same.
Yeah, I remember Rob having a sniper rifle and just like waiting for people to ride by. So
I think me and Cody were chasing around like a group of kids riding their horses, just killing them. And I still remember this day in my head, just echoing, fucking, oh no, here comes Sleep Division. And I just come rolling over the hill, just shooting at them, killing their horse and shit. So I was doing it too. It's the Wild West. Back then, things were different.
They won't be.
Yeah, it'll still be the same thing. But I'm coming into this with
hide
more
out in the
people.
desert.
It is a game you want to go hide somewhere sometimes. You're just out in the cactuses. You're like, oh, there's a little shack. I'm going to fucking hide out for a little bit because there's people riding around looking for me. It's scary, dude. It's just like the real thing. Anything else? Let us know in the comments. What do you think about Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out soon? What do you think about the other games that are coming out soon? Do you got ones planned that you want to pick up? Have you picked up any that have already come out? What are you feeling about those games? Obviously, this month is Broketober, which is a great way to coin it.
For most.
Yeah, for me, dude. I'm just going to say it. So I was originally going to buy Battlefield, and I decided not to because I don't like the way DICE and EA are handling their communication with the community. They've done it multiple times now with games, so I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm just not going to buy your game. So when I bought Black Ops 4, I bought the Ultimate Edition. So I essentially spent the same money I would have spent on Battlefield onto Call of Duty. So it's Broketober. I didn't have to do it. I was just mentioning that because like this month has been really expensive so far. But Soul Calibur, I'm very excited about that. So let me know in the comments, what are you going to be picking up this month? What are you excited to play? And how do you feel about Red Dead Redemption 2's Ultimate Edition, whatever it's actually called, if I'm getting that wrong? And let me know some details that we might have missed. Maybe there is a reason we should be outraged. Maybe there's a reason that we shouldn't be talking about this. Be like, well, they already fucking said this ain't a big deal. Let us know everything you're thinking about that. And if you have a problem with it, let us know in detail why you have a problem with it. And yeah, so last thing I want to talk about, which is more of a free-form conversation, real quick. I don't think it'll go on very long. But the channel itself, Tasty Loot Gaming, is growing right now at a rate that it never has. It's still growing slowly, but it's still continuously growing. And it's very exciting for me as the person who created it, but very exciting for all of us being a part of this. And our sub count is slowly creeping towards the 1,000 mark. So for a lot of people, it's probably whatever. For us, it's fucking amazing. It's really cool, especially because it went from like 300 and like in a matter of months started going up, and now we're here. So because we're about to hit for the channel a monumental occasion, something that's really crazy, I want to do something special. So probably around the week that we hit the 1,000 mark, and if you guys want to speed that up, you can share us with everyone you know.
Don't speed up too much because I have a trip at the end of the month.
Yeah, but the plan so far is when we hit 1,000 subs around that weekend or maybe the weekend after, we'll let you guys know ahead of time before it happens. We're going to do a 24-hour stream. We will probably do it from Saturday into Sunday because that'll work best for our schedules. Hopefully you guys also will be able to hop into the stream at some point in that 24 hours and say hi to us, maybe play games with us. But we're going to do that probably from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. the next day, full 24 hours. We're going to play multiple games. And the reason I'm bringing that up is we're all we're not old, but we're not
Ain't no spring chicken.
We ain't fucking baby fresh anymore either. So the prospect of staying up 24 hours just playing games the
I'm
whole
exhausted
time,
thinking about it.
I'm excited. I want to hit 1,000. I want to hit 1,000 subs just because it's awesome for the channel.
I will totally attempt to. If you want to watch me sleep on camera as well.
But I'm excited for it because I want to do the 24-hour stream. I think it sounds fun.
Yeah.
To do an event. So yeah, when we hit 1,000, we will let you guys know ahead of time, do a tasty bit or something like that, telling you guys, okay, we hit it, fucking we'll do our thanks because we're appreciative now already, but we will be very appreciative when that happens. And any of you guys who've been around this long, it's so fucking awesome to have a community of people, talk games with us every week. But be really cool when that happens. We'll tell you when that's going to happen. We'll tell you the plan. It's going to be 10 a.m. most likely. That's where I'm pretty stuck. PST, Pacific Standard Time, West Coast, United States. I know we got a lot of people all over the world who watch this, which is insane. Yeah, so that should be really fun. So what I want from you guys, and you guys as well, if you got any plans, what games do you want us to see, or do you want to see us play during that time? I'm thinking I kind of want to do some same screen stuff maybe, or some online stuff that has some longevity, something we can play for hours. Obviously, we could do some party games. We could do like some shooters. We could do some fucking like Diablo type games, something that be easy to pass that time with. But yeah, just let us know what kind of games you'd like to see us play. I know a lot of things will probably be out by then. Obviously, Soul Calibur, stuff like that. I want to maybe potentially look for ways because obviously Chris is not with us physically. He's in the spirit realm, so. So I kind of want to look into a way of making a layout for the stream where normally you could see my face. Maybe I can get his face on there as well, so he's in the stream 24/7 as well. I've barely even talked to Chris about this, but I'm sure he's down to do it.
No.
No, what the fuck? What are you signing me up for?
There's even whisperings of another person potentially joining us. So.
Yeah. Josh also wants to come out. And I don't think he can do the full 24 hours, but he wants to hang out for as much of it as he can. I'm going to obviously invite Cody. And yeah, I think it'll be really fun. But I invite everybody, obviously, who's watching this and anybody else during the 24 hours, come in, say hi, watch us play some games. We might play some games online that you might have as well.
Help us stay awake.
Help us stay awake. We're going to need that a lot. I'm going to be drinking a lot of... I thought about alcohol first, but that's going to be really rough. So maybe in the last hour or two, I might fucking crack something open. But
it's going to be I'm going to literally bounce between caffeine and water.
Yeah.
probably the whole time.
That's the smart bet.
Yeah.
And not bangs. That's too much.
No,
That's
like
too much energy.
coffee, probably.
Coffee will do it. Yeah.
Something a little more natural.
I mean, I'm sucking down pots of coffee every stream anyway. So, but that's the plan, and that's actually coming up faster than I could have ever anticipated. So very exciting. I believe as of right now, as of recording, we're at 9:45. So, and like a week ago, we were in the I think 29 area. So
also, it'll probably be a pretty relaxed stream because we're probably going to try to set it up in a more common space in the house, so there might be foot traffic from other people as well. So.
But a big indicator of where we're going to do the stream is what games we're going to play, though. Yeah. So because if we're going to be playing any like PC type games, I might just keep it in my room, so it'd be easier. But I would like something that most people can be on the screen, obviously. So, and something that we can incorporate Chris in. So that's the plan. Let us know in the comments any suggestions for that stream, things you'd like to see us do, ideas in general you think could make the stream more fun, more interesting. What games would you like to see us play? And remember, this is we got to stay awake this whole time and keep everyone interested. So keep that in mind when it comes to it. So that's really exciting, coming up very soon. The other thing I wanted to bring up as well is we are not as fast, oddly enough, cruising towards it, but we are getting there. We are approaching Taste the Cast episode 100, so I'd like to do something special for that. Probably not a 24-hour stream, but I do want to try and get most of the people from the Tasty crew on the show at once and have some kind of long-form conversation, less reacting and more just in-community conversation to celebrate 100 episodes of the Tasty Cast. So let me know in the comments as well. Is there some video game oriented topics you'd like us to talk about, or maybe some questions for everybody that's part of the Tasty Cast, Tasty crew, I guess Tasty Cast if we're all on it. And yeah, just give me some ideas, because I just want to get everyone together and have a long hour or two conversation about gaming. So let me know your ideas there. But we've been running longer than I thought we were, so I think that's gonna do it for this episode of Tastecast. Okay. Do you guys have anything to say on those ideas? I have one thought just to start the 24-hour stream, and obviously it is an idea. If you guys don't like it, let me know. If you don't like it, fucking keep it yourself. We can start off with something real simple like the Jackbox
I think game.
5 just came out. I haven't even played 4.
Well, I'd say it's something that's really easy to play. Community can literally join in while we're doing it, type of thing.
There's a delay to it, but they can definitely
not on
play.
Their device though.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll have enough information on the device to play it, though. Some of the games you need to see visually on the screen.
We'll test it with Chris.
We will. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then cool though. And that'd be one way to just. It's nice, it'd be slow start. It'd be awful to end with because we'll be too tired to pay attention at that point.
To do trivia and shit? Fuck that.
But
gotta do when I'm sharp.
Figured it'd be good to start with that and then get into the more exciting stuff the longer we get into the stream.
It'd be cool to do like a Soul Calibur tournament or whatever. Obviously, Chris wouldn't be able to participate in that, but we could at least get him on stream. Could he do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do online tournaments like that.
What?
Are we like?
I'm talking about
Soul Calibur.
I could pass you the controller online though. Share play is what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll
There's
figure
ways
it out.
to do it.
We'll figure that out. It's not happening tomorrow. So unless it did, that'd be crazy.
I'm not ready for that to happen tomorrow.
I gotta work, dog. If you guys want to watch me at work, fucking.
You're just gonna strap the thing on and be like, all right, you get to hang out with me for the day. Yeah. Watch me listen to loud noises.
I mean, I'm not opposed to living the Truman Show life. So, I mean, I stream. I used to stream a lot more than I do now. And for a while there, I'd go in the bathroom and my brain would be telling me I was on stream. I'm looking around. I'm like, there's no cameras in here, right? Because I got a lot of cameras in my room. I probably shouldn't be saying that. There's some people out there who know how to. They're all facing up. You can't see shit anyway. That's me getting paranoid.
I'll say this house is an electronic fucking graveyard almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about getting my computer up and running, and I was like, "Oh, you don't have any motherboards sitting around?" I'm like, "No, I definitely do. I just don't have ITX motherboards sitting around."
Micro
ITX.
Yeah. Correction.
Yeah. So. Yeah, thanks. Before someone's like, "What the fuck? You never even played on a computer. You don't know what you're talking about." Anything else you guys want to say on that? Chris, got any ideas? Any how
are you taking the news?
Yeah, he's just finding out now.
I was up yesterday for like 24 hours. So.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Whew, I can't even casually like. I make it to about 16, 17, and I'm like falling asleep sitting up. So
In the last like 4 years, if I stay up around 24 hours, I start deteriorating mentally, and I feel like I go into this darker zone that's inside me somewhere, and I start tapping into that, and it's an unknown territory, so I don't know what happens there. So I always, when I start getting to that area, I go to sleep. So I'm like, I'm not ready to explore the abyss yet.
well, you guys might get to see that then.
No. If something gets a little too crazy, I'm gonna Scooty Puff Jr. the fuck out of the stream. Like, I'm going too crazy for this. We just gained 1,000 subscribers over the course of like 3.5 years. Fucking about to lose them all right now, or maybe gain more if I did. I don't know if I did something
knows?
too crazy. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So sound like a good plan, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Let's know in the comments.
Captain.
Everything you're thinking about when it comes to those things. Give us suggestions on both things, and those things are coming up very soon. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tastecast, episode 78. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, enjoy this episode. I didn't even pronounce that correctly. Subscribe. And check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out my streams and Chris's streams on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word, and Tasty_fruit for Chris. Hit the notification button, know when we go live. Check out our Discord, link down below. Talk to us anytime, all the time. We are on there all the fucking time. We live on there. And check us out on podcast platforms, iTunes, Spotify, and everything else under the fucking sun. Down in the description box below. Listen to us if you prefer to do that, and watch us on YouTube if you prefer to do that at Tasty Loot Gaming. But yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Chris.
Until next episode, which will be Tasty Tuesday, coming out real fucking soon because this episode got delayed as shit. My apologies. But until then, have a good week, guys. Have a good night, guys, and take it easy. That smile.